The Burden of Glory, a devotional for the season of Lent, produced by Northside Church. Friday, March 27th. Our scripture passage today comes from Mark chapter 1, verses 29 through 31.
As soon as they left the synagogue, they went with James and John to the home of Simon and Andrew. Simon's mother-in-law was in bed with a fever, and they immediately told Jesus about her. So he went to her, took her hand, and helped her up. The fever left her, and she began to wait on them.
Mark was the first gospel written, and Simon Peter's mother-in-law is the first healing Jesus performs in the book, which means this is the very first written account we have of Jesus healing a specific person. Clearly, there are some advantages to having a son-in-law who is one of the original disciples of Jesus. What I find interesting, though, is that while this might be the first healing Jesus performs, the word healing does not appear in the story. Of course, that doesn't mean that a healing hasn't occurred. It seems pretty obvious that it has. But it does invite us to pause and reflect on what kind of healing it is and just how it took place. This event takes place very early in Jesus' ministry. Things are just beginning to happen, and Jesus and his disciples are still in their home region of Galilee. It makes sense that they are hanging out in each other's homes, relying on the resources and connections they have there. But when they get to Simon Peter and Andrew's house, they soon discover something is wrong. Peter's mother-in-law is in bed with a fever. We are not told how serious the situation is, but a fever is never a good thing, and in Jesus' time, it could be potentially life-threatening. The disciples know this, and so they immediately tell Jesus about the situation. Did they expect him to heal her? As we've already noted, to this point, Jesus hadn't performed any healings yet. He'd cast out a demon, but he hadn't healed any sick folks yet. So did they know that he could heal the sick? Is that why they ran to him? Possibly. Or maybe they were concerned that Jesus himself would get sick. Maybe they ran to him in order to suggest that they all leave immediately. Mark doesn't tell us. What the passage does tell us is that when Jesus found out this woman was sick, he went to her and took her hand. He went to her and helped her up. He went to her and was present with her. And this appears to drive the fever away. Mark doesn't say that Jesus healed Peter's mother-in-law, just that when Jesus found out she was sick, he went to her, and his presence had a healing effect upon her. Jesus calls us to do the same for all of those who are sick. Look after them and visit them, because this is how Jesus himself is present to them. And while his presence will not always heal the body, it will always bring peace to the mind and a healing to the soul that only the glory of God can bring.